I'm going to take the enlightened centrist position. You're both sort of right here that I agree exactly what you're saying, Sargon. There needs to be this individual will to succeed. I think the issue or the salvation for that problem isn't a religious one. I think it's you have to, and I don't know how you do this, but I think it's that people in poor communities have to believe that success is possible for them. This is part of why I'm so against a lot of the woke ideology when it comes to the race stuff, because the woke ideology just sort of reinforces the idea that America's racist and you can't succeed if you're black, and it's sort of just killing the motivation for lots of people in lots of poor communities. But I don't it's both these things. People have to have access to material conditions that can help them, but also an internal belief that success is possible. I mean, I don't think people who are involved in gang warfare and shooting each other, which obviously we're talking about a very small percent of these communities, but the kind of problem people that you're talking about, I don't think those people are lazy. I don't think it's lazy to have to shoot each other and sell drugs and all this stuff. I don't think that's like an easier life. And there's even been studies that show that people, like the average drug dealer, makes less money than they would like a minimum wage job. It's just sort of that there's an attitude and culture about what is a more honorable profession and what is a more likely avenue of success.
There's two
So it's
ethics,
not about the money.
There's two ethics
Right.
that we're contrasting.
Hang on, Adam. Sorry, but if it's not about the money, then
no, it's about success in climbing a hierarchy, right?
But what does success look like, right?
Well, in America, generally, it looks like money.
But to these communities, it doesn't look like an office job.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
To these communities, I don't think it looks like an office job. I don't think it looks like a nuclear family.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. That's a lot of the people talk about being car poor and things like that. Sure,
but that's a problem with their ethics.
No, it's a
right. Well, it's not a problem. I won't say it's a problem with ethics. I'd say it's a problem with how you conceptualize the world and your place in it, and where what is valuable.
It is a problem with
How's
the ethics.
Not ethical?
Let me.
I think the material conditions will follow. Like if the material conditions come, then people will see an avenue to success and believe in an avenue to success. If there's investments in their community that give them opportunities to succeed.
The investment is a business saying, right, we're going to hire, and a bunch of gangsters come in with guns on their hip. You're not hiring a single one of them, are you?
Well, there's a multifaceted approach. You want to affect the conditions that create criminal gangs and stuff like that.
Sure, but the people who we're talking about have to be actively engaged with what you're doing. So what you're selling to them has to be appealing to them. And if you're saying, hey, you can settle down, get a middle class job, and buy a house and get a retirement fund, and then go, retire in Florida or something, they're going to look at you like you're a fucking idiot, right? They're going to be like, I don't care about that. I'm not sitting in an office. I'm not going to pay my taxes. They don't value the same things because they have a different ethical framework to you.
But isn't that ethic a response to the woke stuff? I mean, we're comparing two different ethics. You're right, John, that the opportunity has to be there. But at the same time, you have two ethics. You have the woke ethic, which says, if you're a minority, there's no way that you can get ahead. Society's stacked against you, like it's an uphill climb. That disincentivizes people to seek success. In the Christian ethic, you have success doesn't matter, just work hard and serve the community, which isn't telling you can be successful, but it gives you the tools to be successful because hard work is the path to success.
Can you describe the woke part again?
So the woke ethic is really about marginalized communities don't have a shot. We live in a white supremacist society, and the smart person will say, if I can't get ahead, if the system is stacked against me, what is the point of trying? You even yourself said these are high risk environments. That's why they're high risk environments. If society's stacked against you, live fast, die young is going to be my motto.
Okay, now the problem I'm seeing here is blaming people. Like if that actually is a problem, if these communities don't have the opportunities they need, I think that you're blaming that you're shooting the messenger, saying look, this is a problem. These people aren't having the opportunities they should have. And then what you're doing is you're shooting the messenger and saying, hey, you're disincentivizing them, when all the messenger is really doing is pointing out that this problem exists and we should solve this problem.
Right. So the question
But
really is,
isn't
are
that
the opportunities
the problem?
there? Go ahead.
Isn't that the
Sitch.
problem? Because you have to balance it. You have to be able to point out that, yes, there could be racial or systemic problems that have existed for decades that still exist today. But at the same time, if you focus on them too much, you're basically saying that you can't really succeed unless the entire system is dismantled in a way which doesn't seem possible or likely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, dismantling everything and starting from scratch, I mean, I don't agree with that, but I do agree with recognizing problems in the system and addressing them, and discouraging people from pointing out problems in the system by saying that, well, that's just going to just think that people can't succeed. I think that misses the mark.
No, I mean, I agree. I agree with it. I think the problem that I've seen when I look through a lot of, race theory literature from the 70s onward is it seems like a lot of the activists and a lot of their ideology stems from this idea that, well, we tried equality of opportunity because there was like a 10-year period after civil rights movement, where there was supposedly equality of opportunity. And that didn't work because there's still, a huge wealth and income gap between white and black America. Therefore, we have to just give up on equality of opportunity and now start focusing on equality of outcome. And we have to redefine and kind of twist all our terms around to sort of promote this idea that if you're not for equality of outcome, you're a racist. And we just have to like promote this idea. And I think that's where the issue is, because we do need to acknowledge that there is racism in the country and there are systems that have held back black people in America. But if that's all you focus on, that's detrimental to people's motivation and trying to move up in society.
Yeah, I mean, I think there needs to come with it, not just complaining about what's wrong, but also solutions, and how to fix it. I mean,
well,
and
no, you continue.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. I mean, sorry.
Okay, so the question is, how do we turn Chicago gangsters into businessmen, right?
Well,
just productive members of society.
A lot of people, not a lot of, I mean, so, okay. I always go back to the drug war as being the main factor, because that drives the criminal activity, that drives the gang relations. A lot of people criticize me because they think that, making everybody high, that's going to fix the problem. Well, no, there's a multifaceted approach where, with decriminalization of drugs, you're also going to have a lot of money that comes not only from drugs and taxation and all that, but saved from the prison system, where you no longer have to have all these prisoners, and you reallocate and take a new focus on rehabilitation. Like they did this in Portugal, where they decriminalized all drugs. I think it was the first country to decriminalize all drugs. They actually saw a decrease in like heroin usage, and because they focused on rehab. See, like the way we do it now, it actually exacerbates the problem, because you send people to prison, which is essentially a criminal college, where they come into contact with all these other criminals, and then what they do is they network and learn from each other, and then they get sent back out in the street with even fewer prospects. Now they're stigmatized as felons or ex-cons, and so now basically their best options are to get back into the crime world. What we're doing just makes it worse. So I want to fix that. I want to focus on actually fixing the problem. Decriminalize, focus on actually getting people off of drugs by treating them medically. I want to treat drug users medically rather than criminally. And I think then you would actually start to see real world effects. You would start to see crime going down. You would see less gang activity, which means you would see less assault, less murder, even less rape, because, like I said, people will have something to lose in life, and they're going to engage in, they're not going to be engaging in this risky behavior that they know that is going to cost them. All of these things are related.
So
what's up, guys? You all fall asleep?
No.
I was trying to get in like crazy a minute ago. Now everyone's gone.
I'm trying to think of a way of approaching this.
I want to say something about the drug war, because Sitch and I have talked about it a bunch. I worry that like the drug war seems like this elixir solution for the left, but it seems like they're turning to those opportunities because they're high risk, high reward opportunities. And if you legalize drugs, those opportunities are just going to go to corporate America, and the gangs are going to go to the next high risk, high reward, whether it be pornography or prostitution or any of those kinds of things. It's not really.
I mean, I don't think they can make money through porn, but
yeah, that's legal though. I mean,
well, sex trafficking, whatever it is,
Yeah, maybe prostitution, but could prostitution and sex trafficking fill the financial gap of drug sales? I don't think it.
I mean, if
you're making my argument
on average
here.
in a minimum wage job,
you're making my argument
money,
here.
Is it?
I'm just saying that they're going to that because that is the opportunity available to you. So maybe there is some opportunity deficit here that we can't just paper over.
No, but the idea is like, okay, so if you decriminalized, all drugs, right? You're removing, as you said, you're removing the opportunity to make money through drugs. Like, would that incentivize people to get normal jobs
to work
because
for
they
Burger
can't
King? No, I don't think
to work
so.
for Burger King. Well,
they
couldn't get money through the gang.
History has already answered all this with alcohol prohibition. Like, people back then would say that it's unheard of that I could just go to the grocery store and get a bottle of bourbon. That would be insane. Right. But when we did that, what we actually saw was the gangs fall apart. There's no more Al Capones. That was a Chicago gangster who was very violent and very powerful. And that cannot exist anymore, but it can exist with other illicit substances.
Yes, I agree.
Right. So what's going to happen to the current gangsters, do you think, if the drugs get taken over by corporations?
Well, I don't think the current
happened.
One at a time, guys.
I don't think the current gangsters are going to suddenly be reformed, but it's a generational thing. Maybe the next generation can't look to that lifestyle as, a way to succeed.
Right. It's not going to happen overnight.
Sure. But I mean, do we think that the fatherless children whose dads are either in jail or have been shot over drug gang wars are going to be running the depositories that sell cannabis or something? I mean,
some of them, sure.
But I think the problem is that I don't think they view that as a glamorous or exciting life. I don't think they view that as success.
I mean, you could be right, but this isn't I don't think there's a single Band-Aid solution to any of this. This has to be a multifaceted approach, right?
Sure.
I mean, I agree with you.
Not offering them something that is enticing,
right?
Then they're not going to do it.